Hi, everyone, and welcome to another Homeschool Live with the Old Schoolhouse. I'm your host, Christine, and joining me again is Nadim from CTCMath. Thanks for joining us again, Nadim.
No worries, Christine. Great to be with you.
Awesome. And so today we're diving into a topic that maybe many of you who are out there teaching math to your kids and thinking, what am I doing? I can't teach math. So we're calling this segment Teaching Math When You're Not a Math Person. And I can probably say that I am one of those people. And what can we say to those parents, to myself, in regards to using a tool like CTC Math? So we're gonna dive in and uh, many parents would say, I was never good at math. I struggled with math, and how on earth am I going to teach this to my kids now? So, how does CTC Math kind of help take that pressure off and support the parents who are feeling that they're non-math people?
Yeah, wonderful question. I guess the first thing is CTC Math does all the heavy lifting for you. Parents don't need to be the teacher. They can simply outsource that.
Yeah,
And this is a beautiful thing about homeschooling is that you don't need to take on all that weight.
yeah,
There are wonderful programs, wonderful curricula out there that can take that load for you. And I would say, how do we do it? How do we help that parent who might not be able to teach or struggle to teach math? And the short step-by-step video tutorials take all the concepts that your child needs to learn and explains it in this bite-size, easy to digest mastery approach. And the
mhm,
parents can then just focus on the encouragement and the support instead of the actual teaching.
yeah.
You know, they become an emotional coach more than
Yeah.
anything.
Which
In
is necessary for math.
yes, yes, no, no, um, and and you can go in depth as you want, and as hands off as you want. So
Mhm.
there is that flexibility. We give you a lot of tools, and parents pick and choose the tools that best suit their child's needs or their children's needs.
And so this is great because it already is giving the pressure off to not on our shoulders. But what happens when we feel like it's been so long and we can't remember that we feel like we need a refresher? Because I know my son is now going into the high school, the higher grades, and the math is getting harder. And all those things like algebra and trigonometry, and I think I remember how to do it, but it's, oh no, what am I gonna do? So how does CTC Math kind of help with that?
Yeah, wonderful question. Again, each parent has their own account, so they can actually log in and watch the video tutorials ahead of time if they want,
Cool.
and they can attempt the questions without impacting their children's scores or grades.
Oh, that's awesome.
We
That's
also
awesome.
have access to worked solutions. So each and every question has a detailed worked solution explaining step by step the process to the answer. So instant feedback, they submit an answer to a question and they receive an answer, right or wrong. And I'll get come back to why that's really important. And then they have the work solutions feature. So if they've got it wrong, they're able to work through and see why with a
Perfect.
detailed explanation. And that's sort of the cherry on top of the video tutorials. But why is it important to receive instant feedback? Well, your child might do a set of 10 questions, get it graded at the end, and have been getting them wrong the whole time. And what they're actually reinforcing is an incorrect habit.
Hmm.
And that makes it a little bit harder to unstick, right? Because you've gotten into this
Yes.
habit of doing it the same way, thinking that you're doing it correctly. It's also very demoralizing. You spend a lot of time to 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 get all the questions wrong, to
Yeah.
only realize that you've gotten all the questions wrong.
Oh, yeah.
But if you get that instant feedback after each question, you understand how to do it, and you tweak your approach for the next one. Also, adaptive questions are very helpful in this area. Seeing the right question at the right time. Questions don't get too difficult with CTC math at the wrong time, and they don't become too easy.
Hmm. Hmm.
They're always tailored to the student's ability and adjusting based on where they're at.
I love that. And that takes the pressure off the student as well, just to take those steps, because that not only do we feel the pressure, the kids feel the pressure too. And so it's exactly as you said, to work at their own pace. And this is so encouraging. And so how would you advise parents in terms of, that anxiety, even just for parents and for students who might have that math anxiety, because one, they can have the students can have their own, preconceptions of, okay, this is too hard, I can't do it. But then we can pass off those anxieties as well to our kids, which is totally terrible. But we do it without even thinking about it. So what kind of advice would you share with those?
Yeah. And it's okay. I mean, the first thing is that no one likes anything they're
Difficult.
not very good at, or
Yeah,
that no one enjoys anything that's difficult and hard. Yeah.
exactly.
But we learn to build resilience. If we can get through this phase and we can overcome these struggles, we build resilience and we build an ability to overcome challenges,
Hmm.
healthy struggles. And it's not just the area of math, right?
Hmm.
There's all areas of life. My, my daughter's area of struggle is playing in team sports.
Oh,
This is something that we've got to work on. We've got to make a priority, top of list.
yeah,
So, and she's not very good at sport, right? She's not, sport doesn't come naturally to her.
right.
And that's okay. God's
Yeah,
given her other talents, and
yeah.
and we all have different talents. But we need to overcome that. We need to work through that. We don't just run away from team sports and isolate in that situation. But sorry, I digress.
Oh, that's
So
okay.
math anxiety, we yeah, we have to build that confidence, right?
Yes.
So that's really important because they are coming in with an attitude of I don't like it, I don't understand it, this is not fun, and they shut down. And often what will happen is the student is here, but the level of the program or the questions is here.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
questions traditionally get more difficult in a textbook or most programs.
Hmm.
So the
Hmm.
child is here and there's a gap. The child is here and the question level is here, and
Right.
there's this gap. And as they progress over time, the gap gets bigger and bigger because questions are getting more difficult. Their understanding is not building, and that gap just keeps growing and growing. With CTC Math, it recognizes that there's a gap, meets the student where they're at, meets your child where they're at, and brings them up.
Hmm. Hmm.
It's very important.
That is important.
Also, the video tutorials, I go back to this, the short, sharp mastery approach. Our speed to practice is very effective. So sometimes we think that the longer an explanation and the more detailed it is, the better our children will understand it.
Mhm.
Sometimes it can be overwhelming and
Yes.
confusing. All
Yeah.
right. So if we can get the same message across in a quarter of the time, what takes others 20 minutes to explain, Pat does in
Yeah.
5 minutes, it's going to be far more impactful and far more lasting. And it also gives them the ability to do more practice problems where they're going to further develop that skill and grow to a greater understanding. So all this comes together to build confidence.
Yeah. In practice, like the saying goes, practice makes perfect.
Yes.
And it's not easy all the time to say that, especially when they're really struggling with this particular concept. But I we've gone through quite a bit now. We're currently my kids are going into grade 9, going into grade 5. And so we've you know, overcome some of the hurdles of, long division and all of those things, multiplication. And at the time they were, okay, this is this is too hard. I can't do it. I don't like this. But thankfully that they're seeing now, okay, if they see that if they work at it, and thankfully for homeschooling, we can try different ways of attacking the problems, and finding the right way to look at a problem and find the solution. And so this is where I've loved CTC Math for us as well, because of the clear, concise lessons. There's not, we started off way back when we first started homeschooling with the big fat textbooks, and it got overwhelming for me to have to read, okay, how do you teach that? How does this work again? And then have them read their textbook, and then they're already tired from all of the information that they have to, okay, well, so exactly am I supposed to do? But with CTC Math, it's right there on the screen. It's very short, where these are the steps, and here's your practice lesson. So it's been really, really good. And like, our next question was about how a parent could, take an active part in this, and without having to relearn. And we kind of touched on a lot of that, just logging in and reviewing the lessons before your kids have to do them, and looking at the tutorials. Is there anything else that would help parents just be more involved, and not be scared of being involved, without being overwhelmed?
Yes, for sure. And you don't have to relearn everything
Yeah,
or anything at all. You don't actually have to watch those video tutorials ahead of time. It's just purely an option, but
right.
parents can set tasks, and I would recommend the greatest thing that a parent can do in this situation is to just track the progress, to just once a week, or even even a little more frequent if they want, to just see how they are going with their lessons, how many lessons they've completed for the week, check in on those reports, and celebrate wins. You
Yeah,
know, celebrate wins. Um, if they are struggling, you can reach out to us and ask us for some advice. But because you have access to all lessons from all grade levels,
that's true.
and they're getting stuck with, say, a division concept, you might want to go back to an earlier grade level and review division, just to reinforce
Exactly.
that foundation. Um, the other thing, I think I said this earlier, but your role becomes the coach and encourager, not the teacher or the tutor
True.
for
Yeah.
the area of math.
Yeah.
Um,
Which is, yeah, less pressure for sure. I like that. And so,
especially if you have multiple children
yeah,
across all different grade levels, trying to teach math at the same time, right?
it was easy with one, and then when the other one came along, it was like, oh, because it gets harder, and so now your brain's slipped. So yeah, having CTC Math was so great, and I do love the fact that you have access to all the grades, and you can customize what you need to learn. So, and if you need to go back, great, because you have the time. With homeschooling, you have the opportunity to do that. Take your time, and I love that CTC Math really emphasizes that focus on mastering
Mm.
before you go, and gives you the opportunity to do that, because in a regular school setting, sometimes you have to just keep moving, and maybe you caught the main concept, but maybe you're not master of it. And so that's so key to moving on, because math builds into each other, into the next level. And so this I love how CTC Math works. So do you have any examples, any success stories that you could share with us? I kind of sort of said mine a little bit in there,
Yeah,
but
I was going to say you're a great success story.
yeah, for sure,
Wonderful.
for sure. But people hear me talk all the time, so
Yeah, we've got countless testimonials. If you just Google CTC Math testimonials, there's lots of stories on our website, and there's lots of stories online. we receive a lot of messages on a regular basis,
Awesome.
um, saying how CTCMath has transformed their homeschooling day,
Yeah.
or switch the tears off. Um,
I love that.
and that's always great. I was talking to Christy Faith, who's quite prominent in on Instagram when it comes to homeschooling advocacy and just philosophies and teaching behind homeschooling. And she goes, I got to play you this message. And it was her niece saying how much she loved CTC math. So there's
Oh,
a lot of stories like that. But there's countless stories of, it's just we had lost all faith in being able to teach math in our day, and
mm,
we've been able to overcome that. And they're not a math whiz, but
yeah.
but their understanding is solid enough. You know, I like Amber's story. I think because Amber has been around using CTC math for a really long time, and from almost the beginning when we started 12 years.
Wow.
She's got 8 children,
Oh,
uh,
wow.
and a few have probably graduated now. A
Yeah,
few have
okay.
probably graduated now, but she's got 8 children, and she says, using the program was just so easy for her to navigate, and so easy for her, um, and and such a time saver, right? Could you imagine homeschooling? Well, probably at least 6 children with
Yeah,
toddlers, and
I
having a
can't.
program for each child at one low
Oh,
price.
wow.
And again, that independence, that ability to have them do their math. And she says she said what she absolutely loved was it provided a variety of audio, visual, and manipulatives. To
Mm,
see
yeah.
firsthand the videos and the questions, having their full attention.
Hmm.
So I always like Amber because, if you can do it with a big family of diverse learners, that's the other thing. She has diverse
Yes.
learners,
Yeah.
really gifted learners, some in between, and some who are struggling. It makes it possible for all other scenarios, I guess.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. I love that story. And hopefully we'll put the link in for sure so that you can go ahead and grab and take a look at those success stories for sure. And so if you're watching and you've never really heard about CTC Math, Nadim, can you just give us a quick synopsis of who you are as a company and what you have to offer and how this is applicable to homeschooling families?
Yeah, wonderful. So CTC Math is an online math curriculum. We cover K to 12.
Mhm.
You have access to all lessons from all grade levels. We're a complete curriculum. I would suggest that you give us a go with a free trial. We also come with a 12-month money back guarantee, no questions asked. So if the program's not a fit for you and your family, just let us know and we'll refund your entire payment. And you have 12 months for that.
That's incredible. And I think that's what we did too. We tried the free trial and then we were hooked. You I promise you you'll not have to get your money back for sure. Um, so we will make sure that link for CTC Math is also there for you to grab. And please let us know if you have any questions. You can type it into the comments and we'll reach out to Nadim and see if he can answer them for you. Is there anything else that you'd like to share with us today, Nadim?
I appreciate, we appreciate the homeschooling community and all that you're doing. The fact that you can be the primary educator of your child is very powerful and should never be undervalued. The importance of that is amazing. Yeah.
Mhm.
So keep up the good work.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And we're so thankful that there are resources like yours out there. So thank you for what you're doing, and all of you at CTC Math. It's a great product. It's a great resource. And thank you again for joining us today. And we hope to see you again soon.
Thank you.
Bye for now.